Good afternoon, champs. Welcome to episode 3 of the Champs series with James and I, the Vitality experts. How have you been getting on? If you want to let us know in the question box on the right hand side, you can use the question function. Any questions come through and James will be manning the questions, and hopefully we can get you guys involved as well. So it's not just us talking. We do want to get you guys involved. Let us know how you've been finding Vitality, how you found the last 2 episodes, whether you've implemented any of the things we've talked about. So a bit of a recap on those 2 sessions. The recordings have been sent out. We had the first one, which is about getting started. So that's for new members or perhaps people who haven't really been getting engaged. So helping them to understand their health through the online health review and the health check, and then just starting to make some small steps to get active really and start earning points. And then the one more recently, that was sort of how you can get connected and then start getting active. So we added a few bits in about how you can encourage people to start making the change, start making some lifestyle changes, start implementing some sort of walks, breaks within the day, and just getting a bit more active overall. I know in the last one we here at Vitality, we were coming up to renewal, so I think we were renewing in about 5-6 days. So I was sort of borderline going on to gold. So I only started in February. I managed to get to silver quite quickly, and then James was sort of teasing me if I didn't get to gold, I might not make it to this 3rd episode. So I am here, and I did get to gold. So James, you were sort of borderline getting to platinum. So do you want to let the viewers know whether you made it or not?
Yes, I managed to get to platinum, which was a big achievement. So I also have my wife on a policy as well. So the 2 of us were sort of chomping at the bit to try and get to platinum. So we both were in it together. Obviously, being with a partner, you get 50% added on to your points total to try and get obviously a little bit more active as a pair. So yeah, we've sort of changed some really good habits over the last sort of 12 to 16 months. Obviously, with coronavirus, it's had quite a positive impact on us, which has been good, but all about sort of creating those habits, and now we're carrying them forward into this year. So hopefully get to platinum again, so get all the benefits of platinum. Now we can travel a little bit more, we can get some of the benefits around sort of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but yeah, hopefully we can get there again this year. So it's been good for us, and obviously that's what it's designed to do with Vitality, is to push you to get a little bit more active, maybe create some of those habits. For you champs as well, you've probably made some of those habits yourself. Maybe they were habits you've already had, and trying to get a little bit healthier, and hopefully we'll help you out with helping some of your colleagues as well do the same. So Ryan's gold, now you've got to get to platinum this year. I've got to get to platinum again. So yeah, the challenge is real. Yeah,
we'll have a race and see which one of us gets there first.
But yeah, I've got 50% added onto mine, don't forget.
That's no excuse. How many arguments were there in that final week? Were there quite a lot of arguments about one of you not pulling your weight? You just missed out by a couple of points.
Yeah, there was my wife will hate me for this and throw her under the bus, but she said, why don't you just go and get a dental checkup to get 100 points and just be done with it? But trying to get a dentist appointment within sort of 5 days, it was a bit difficult, so we just had to make sure we got 8 points every day. But we got there with I think a day to spare, so we did okay in the end.
Oh, good stuff. Well, yeah, so we both managed to reach our target. So yeah, as I said, the last 2 episodes, the first one was about getting started, the next one was about getting connected, and this one is about improving your health with Vitality. So James, why should we look to be healthy? I'm gonna put this on you.
Well, thanks for that. I'm just throwing under the bus right, nice and early, going with the hard stuff. No, improving health is it's something that I think a lot of us kind of think that we're doing, or think that we should do it, but there's no real reason behind it. But what we forget is on 2 fronts really. You want to look after your health, for your home life or your day-to-day life. It allows us to just do more, whether you've got kids or whether you've got family, friends, asking you to do things. I remember when I was younger and my dad was relatively sort of fit and healthy, and we'd go to the park and play football and stuff like that. So being healthy has always been sort of really important for me, to make sure that I can do everything I want to do. But also from a work point of view, it's important to be able to be, present when you're in work. Make sure that you're working to your, not to your max in terms of max efforts, but your max capability, and you're in the best possible place that you can be. I think health's took on a sort of a new meaning as well with everything. It's not just about physical health. There's mental health, there's sort of well-being as a whole, which obviously incorporates nutrition, it incorporates your physical activity and your exercise, and it incorporates things like mindfulness, or your mental well-being. So I think the main thing to why you should improve your health is just to be able to do everything you want to do, and to be able to be everything you want to be. And I think that's what I think me and you definitely try and bring to the forefront of members is, if you can improve your health with vitality, that is like the biggest benefit you can get, because of all those additional bits that you get away from your health insurance, away from your workplace. Just anything that you want to do is achievable if you're as healthy as you possibly can be.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a good point there. So, I mean, our background is around health improvement. So my previous job role was health improvement advisor. So it fits quite nicely with this one. But yeah, I think it's trying to get people to sort of think about the future. So, taking some steps now and how that will help you in the future. So with weight management, I've worked with a lot of people. It's sort of making them sort of, well, you've got babies at the minute, but they're going to get to the stage where they are going to want to go to the park and play football or cricket or something like that. If you're fit and healthy, you can get involved in that. For some people, it's looking at grandkids, and you want to be able to be around and have a good quality of life sort of in the future. So yes, you've got to live in the moment, you've got to enjoy life, but it is still taking those steps to make sure the longevity of sort of your life in sort of healthy, fit state is sort of maxed out essentially. So I'm going to just move on to our core purpose here at Vitality, which hasn't changed since the last episode. So that's to make people healthier and to enhance and protect their lives. So James, how's the Vitality program aim to achieve this?
Well, let's say it's exactly that. I mean, we work with people to improve their health, and it all starts with that understanding your health at the start. So you can't make changes to your health unless you understand where your starting point is. So we've already talked about in the previous 2 episodes. We talked about finding out your vitality age and finding out your health, and find out your numbers under the surface with your health check. And I think from you guys as champions, it's really important for you to push this with everyone within your workplace. Some people will do it because they want a pat on the back of how good their numbers are, but also some people at the other end of the spectrum who want to try and improve their health. They might be trying everything, so going for further screenings, even with Blue Crest, to get a little bit more information. It starts you off on the right foot. And from understanding your health, it's all around getting healthier from there, and that's where some of our partners really come in. And we're going to do a bit more focus on this today. But the idea being that we want to reduce the cost of getting healthier. And that's where we really want to come in Vitality. That's the Vitality program in a nutshell. It helps you to get healthier. And I think this is the main body of the program. And then beyond there, you've got the rewards that you can fall back on, the rewards that are going to reward you on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, throughout the year, or whatever point you find them useful. And probably me saying this as a Vitality employee is a bit bad, but I'm going to say, the rewards aren't necessarily the be all and end all. The biggest thing you can get is getting healthier. And that's what we will really want to focus on today. That's what we want to try and bring to the forefront of your conversations with your colleagues. And you guys as champions are going to take on the message that me and Ryan want to get across to you, and you're going to filter that through your organization. So the main focus that we're going to do today is helping you get healthier. So in terms of getting healthy, it all falls back on sort of some of the work that we do through Britain's Healthiest Workplace, and we get all the stats around this, and it tends to revolve around four key areas and lifestyle behaviors. So one of those is nutrition, so trying to get people to eat a little bit better, start eating a little bit of a healthier diet, look after your mental well-being. So we know from about over 50% of employees have more than one work-related stress factor, and bear in mind this study was actually done pre-pandemic, so throw everything else into the mix. This is obviously going to have a larger number probably now between working from home, working in the office, hybrid working, and a bit of uncertainty. And as well as mental well-being, we want to look after physical well-being. So around about a third of employees aren't getting enough physical activity. Again, that was before the pandemic. We know from some of our members and studies we've done with our members during the pandemic that this has actually improved and people are doing more physical activity, but on the whole, people are doing a little bit less. I think it was the Sport England survey that suggested that people are actually doing less physical activity than they were doing before. And then also there's another element of trying to help people stop smoking. So another one that is a big sort of risk factor for health. So like I say, these are all done pre-pandemic levels, these stats that I've thrown at you here, but we want to focus on these 4 key areas to try and help you get a little bit healthier, help your employees and your colleagues get a little bit healthier. So if people are struggling with any element of these lifestyle behaviors, you can help them out with some of the information we're going to give you today.
Yeah, so starting with nutrition. So we've got the partners WW, well, you might know them better as Weight Watchers. So big discount there. So you can get 6 months access to the workshops and digital plan for £30. So normally it's £22.95 a month and a starter fee of £10. And they've taken a bit more sort of a holistic approach more recently. So yes, there's the weight loss, but then they do also cover other aspects that can impact your weight, such as sleep, your stress, and they also offer different workouts as well now. So you can earn points through hitting different milestones when it comes to losing weight. So you can see that on the screen. So I won't bother reading them all out. But then once you achieve your Weight Watchers or WW goal weight, you will be refunded your £30. And this is great for people wanting to lose weight. Being part of a program does give you that accountability. Having that weigh-in, it does keep people on track and having a bit of a plan to stick to. And their approach, like I said, is a bit more holistic. It is making it more of a lifestyle change rather than just a quick fix. They've also got great recipes, so I don't know about you, but it might help bring out your inner Nigel Lawson skills. That's a bit more James's area. James is definitely the pro when it comes to cooking. For me, it might bring out my Gordon Ramsay vocabulary. I don't want to say I'm bad at cooking. I'm not terrible, but things just tend to go wrong. I tend to get bad luck as soon as I step into the kitchen. So my partner's, she lets me grate cheese and grate carrots and stuff like that. Let me do the bit that I can't burn anything.
The childish bits.
Yeah. It's like, this is the really important part, and then she goes and does the main sort of the bulk of things.
Well, that's the beauty of nutrition, though. It's just trying something new and getting outside your comfort zone a little bit.
Exactly. So she's progressively letting me sort of take a little bit more control. But yeah, not quite your standard yet, James. Then we have got other elements. So we've got the coaches program. So if you're unaware of this is a bit like a health calendar. So each month there's a whole host of different activities on there. So we'll touch on that in the other slides as well. This month we've got a straight talk session, which is around nourishing nutrition with James Hudson, the performance nutritionist for Gloucester Rugby. So that he's going to be talking about some of the fundamentals around nutrition. We've done ones in the past around losing those lockdown pounds, and then more recently there was an eco nutrition with Krista Cullen, which was really insightful. I really enjoyed that one. So you can go on YouTube channel, flick back and see if there's any around nutrition that you might take some use from. And then you've also got the Vitality magazine as well. So there's a lot of different articles on there. There are some recipes on there. James, have you been inspiring some of the recipes on there?
I think there are a few. I think there's a few recipes on there that I've done. Well, definitely similar ones. They might not have given me credit for it, but there are definitely a few articles I've written on there as well somewhere.
Yeah, so there's a whole host of different things on there. A couple of examples you can see there. One about reverse dieting, should you be doing it? And then there's one about making your kitchen more sustainable when it comes to your cooking. But we also want to support members with their mental health.
Yeah, and mental well-being's sort of a big one at the moment, with a lot of people sort of struggling and not knowing where they can go. And this is the only bit where I'd sort of touch on sort of things that are actually involved in the insurance. So with your mental well-being, we want to look after your lifestyle to start off with. So Ryan always says it on some sessions that we do on a Thursday: everyone has mental health. Everyone needs to look after it. So same as your physical health, it's important that you look after yourself. So looking after your lifestyle is a great starting point, and this could be just through the Vitality program. So finding out your Vitality age, booking in for that health check, finding out some key markers where you might be able to improve your lifestyle, using our partners such as Headspace, where you can get 12-month subscription on us with Headspace, and also earn points towards your Vitality status by taking part in some mindfulness to help you on a day-to-day basis be more proactive. And then also we've got things like the Mindful Mondays, which Henry does. This is all on the coaches program. There is the attachment in the handout. So on the right-hand side, you'll be able to download the coaches program if you haven't been sent that already. But all those sessions are there to support you to get started or get the week started in the right way. And then from your lifestyle, you might think that something isn't quite right, something's not quite working. You might need to access some self-help tools. And one of the self-help tools that you've got access to is Together All. Now, Together All can support you if you're going through difficult periods. Could be that you're sort of struggling with work, something's getting on top of you. And it's an anonymous online community where you can talk to other people that might be going through similar things, and you can create that support network and support other people, which obviously makes us feel good as well as being supported by others. And also there are online courses you can do there, things like managing stress and anxiety, right down to healthy eating and losing weight. So there's a lot of information through Together All, and you don't need to make a claim to access that. That was all available through Members of. But if you are really struggling and your mental health is starting to get on top of you, there's more reactive steps that you can take, such as talking therapies and claiming through your mental health cover. So having access to things like My Online Therapy, you can access things like counselling, cognitive behaviour therapy. And what I really want to get across to you as Vitality champions is you might not be sort of mental health champions or mental health first aiders, but one thing one of our friends actually contacted my wife and said that she's just new to management. She just started managing a team, and someone came to her and confided in that she was really struggling and overwhelmed with things at the moment. And I think it's important to react as a human being to people in this instance, reduce that stigma of seeking help and seeking and talking to people if you are struggling. So accessing self-help tools is great, but if you are struggling, sometimes talking to someone is definitely the best way to go. So to try and reduce that stigma within the workplace, be open with people and say, can you support them, just from a human point of view, rather than thinking how that impacts on sort of work and workload. So trying to reduce that stigma is really important, but also knowing where they can turn if they do need support. So things like the self-help tools or talking therapies. So supporting your mental well-being is a really good point, proactively, as well as knowing what's available reactively if something does get on top of you. Also, we know that with mental well-being, it's really important to balance that out with our physical well-being as well. So going with both of those aspects.
Yeah, to help with that physical well-being, obviously being active, as James just mentioned, if you're more physically active, if you're getting up and taking breaks, if you are, stressed at work, it can just give you that, refresh button. It gets you out of the environment, you get a bit of a refresh, you come back, and things tend to settle down a little bit. I always compare it to if you're revising for a test, or if you're helping a child revise for a test and they're getting really stressed because something's not going in. What do you tell them to do? You tell them to take a break and then come back to it, and then it slips right in. Whereas if you're just getting stressed, looking at something that's not going in, you're getting more stressed, and it doesn't make the situation any better. It's like if you can't sleep, lying there getting more wound up, you end up wasting more time than if you just got up, did a little something, and then went back to bed. You tend to drift off a bit quicker. So being active is great for our mental well-being, and just taking those breaks from work. So to help you with that, you can get some new kit from the Vitality Nike exclusive range, which you can check out on MemberZone, or you can get a pair of trainers, discount trainers from Runners Need, and that includes any trainers that are on sale. The reason I'm smiling is because I've recently had to use this one. Yep, James is laughing as well. So last week, I thought I'll pop to the gym quickly on my lunch break. The gym's only around the corner, and then James was wondering where I was. I then sent him a video of my shoe. So my left shoe, the left trainer, the sole had come off at towards the heel. So basically, my left trainer had become a flip flop whilst I was in the gym. So I then had to walk down the stairs, walk back, and it was raining, whilst my left trainer was essentially a flip-flop. So I was walking a lot slower, and James found it hilarious. So I am utilising the Runners Need to get myself a pair of trainers, so that I've not got an excuse not to go to the gym. So that's step one. Then step two is finding your activity. So look, if you don't like running, don't go for a run. Or if you find running boring, if you can put a podcast on or some music, just do something that makes it more enjoyable. So, trying different things. I always say about the gyms, if someone really hates being in the gym, feels a bit self-conscious, don't get them to go into the gym. You've got the Version Active Online Plus, so that can overcome that barrier. So if someone's not being very active, if you can try and find out what barriers they have, you can help overcome that. So if someone says they don't want to go to a gym because they don't enjoy it, you can offer them the Version Active Online Plus, where you can get discount to online instructor-led sessions, and that way you've not got that self-conscious feeling that people are sort of watching you. If childcare is a barrier, again, that's another great way to overcome it. If there's a financial barrier, then obviously you can utilise the discount for Virgin Active and Nuffield Health as well. Again, you have got the coaches program. So on a Tuesday, you've got the HIIT class with one of our coaches. On Thursday, you've got Louise Butler's Pilates. And then on Friday, you've got Andrew, who does the lower intensity class. So perhaps you've got colleagues who are put off by the Tuesday class because they've got issues with their joints, or then they've sort of taken a break from fitness and they're a bit worried that they're not going to be able to keep up. This Friday session is great for people getting back into fitness, and also people who are a bit more wary of sort of the impact on their joints. Step 3, tracking your progress. So using devices, I've got my Garmin on and I find it great for accountability. I can have a look, check how many steps I've done, and that just gives me a nudge. If I notice, if I've been so sort of engrossed in work and not really thought about getting up and moving around, if I just take a little look at my watch when I'm checking the time, I might realize I've done minimal steps today. I might go up, go for a little walk on my lunch break. Tracking your progress, that also helps then earning the points. So when you earn the points, I guess that's a way that you can track how active you've been for the week. So if you're used to getting 12 activity points, you can then say, okay, 12 activity points has now become quite easy. I can then aim for 15. So some of you as champs, you might be hitting 40 activity points each week. But there are going to be some people you work with that struggle to hit 3 activity points on some of their days because they won't be achieving 7,000 steps or won't be doing activity that raises their heart rate to the required amount. So it's trying to just make sure that everyone's involved and also make sure they're doing something they enjoy to make it sustainable and make it that healthy lifestyle change. So James, why should we be looking to earn points?
Well, I think earning points, for someone who's competitive like me, it's just enough. Just to earn points is just enough. Just to say, sometimes me and my wife have a little bit of health competition to earn points. So earning points is great, and it does give you that sort of level of like you said, accountability. If I get 40 points one week, I want to try and make sure I keep that up and get 40 points the next week. Same for other people who are looking to increase their activity. If they're getting 3 points for 7,000 steps, can they up that to 5,000 for getting 10,000 steps? So daily steps is a good place to start, trying to get people to be more active on a day-to-day basis. And the points are great, like you said, they go towards those rewards, but there are other benefits to it. So it supports people being more active on a day-to-day basis. And it's not that taking half an hour out of my day to go and get 7,000 steps or an hour and a half to get 10,000 or however long it takes you to walk it. It's being active. It helps support your musculoskeletal health. So things like, hopefully you don't need to access some of the support around physiotherapy through Ascenti or Nuffield Health. You've got access to that if you've got a few aches and pains, but being active on a day-to-day basis is going to support that, and it reduces that sedentary behavior. Like you just said, you look at your watch, you've done hardly any steps, you want to get up and move around a little bit more. So that's what's really good to try and promote with you and your colleagues. Maybe put things in and little initiatives in, like walking meetings or even half-hour breaks throughout the day. The way I always look at it, I wish I could go back to primary school. We used to get a morning break, a lunch break, and then an afternoon break, because you could run around and you could be free and easy for a little bit and not have to worry about getting back to work. If we could do that in an adult form, it would be pretty good. But it's just another way of looking at your day. And then also we've got sessions again on the coaches program to support with it. You've already mentioned Pilates with Louise Butler, which can help support your musculoskeletal health. But also we've got the one that was done just before today, so 2 o'clock today, which you'll be able to catch up on a recording, which is the activity patterns and hybrid work, and trying to sort of set some initiatives for the future to try and support with that daily steps and trying to get more active on a day-to-day basis. Other ways that you earn points is through increasing your heart rate. So when you do find that activity that you enjoy, that you love, that raises your heart rate a little bit more, whether that is walking, you can try and promote maybe some of your colleagues to walk a little bit faster, or maybe walk a little bit further, or try and incorporate some hills and stuff like that. So trying to increase heart rate is a good way of trying to improve your health. You do earn points for it by tracking it through your activity, but it does support you with your cardiovascular health. So trying to get your colleagues to improve their heart and lungs, trying to improve that level of health, and it helps reduce the risk factors that are associated with some lifestyle diseases. So it helps reduce that that risk factor, but it helps support everything else. So like we said at the top of the program, we said about why improve your health. By improving your health, it means that you can do everything you want to do. I found in the pandemic, I got my bike back out of the, it was actually my in-laws garage. I managed to get it out, get it fixed up, and I got back into cycling because it's something I absolutely enjoy. And people say, oh, how do you ride sort of, 50, 100K in a go? How do you sit on that little tiny saddle? Trust me, it does hurt sometimes, but it means that I can find something that I enjoy that's good for my mental well-being and also helps me with my cardiovascular health as well. So there are other ways that you can help promote sort of getting those points. And again, with the coaches program, there are sessions that are going to help you increase your heart rate. If you're someone that is into sort of exercise and you do it quite regularly, then you can attend the sessions with Johnny and Jamie, which are more intense, going to raise your heart rate up a little bit more. And then if you're someone that doesn't get into exercise, and maybe some of your colleagues haven't really got into exercise, then you can promote Andrew's sessions on a Friday, which are there designed to help you maybe start getting your heart rate up a little bit more. And then you can maybe hopefully promote the HIIT sessions on a Tuesday to get a little bit more active and get a little bit more of a sweat on and increase your heart rate. So putting all that into sort of why in points, it does go towards your rewards. But what's important is try and build your points up as a reference point of where you are in terms of fitness. So if you're trying to put that together into a week, you're trying to get to that 40-point mark, it's hard to go from 0 to 40. So try and encourage your colleagues and some people that might not be into exercise to maybe get 3 points, then maybe try and push for 5 points by getting 10,000 steps, maybe try and push them towards tracking their heart rate during those walks or during some runs or whatever it is they enjoy, and try and mix match those points to try and get people up towards 40 points. You can mix the 3 points, 5 points, 8 points and get 40 points a week. And some people are put off by that. I'm never going to earn 40 points a week. I've heard a load of people say that. I would have said that when I first started with Vitality. There's no way I can be getting 8 points over every day for 5 days a week. But try and start somewhere. 3 points, just try and work people up towards 7,000 steps a day. A couple of days a week is a great starting point. So don't be trying to push people to necessarily go to 40 points if they're on 0. Maybe sort of set some targets or try and get them to a certain level of fitness by increasing their points on a weekly or even a monthly basis. And it's a good way to try and track that sort of fitness that you're getting. So like we said, we've got the coaches program, which is all in the handouts. Ryan, you attended the one that we've just had, did you? The session that we've just done.
Yeah, it was really good. And I think, like they said at the start, if anyone has come across the Healthy Hybrid report, I think it's about 56 pages long. So yeah, you'll need a coffee and a strong will, I think, to get through it all in one go. But yeah, there was a lot of useful information on there, and that's what I think these straight talk sessions are great for. They do take topics that are very broad, and then they do sort of narrow it down and give you the key points. So they give you the bits that you can take away, and that's how they do leave it. Yeah, they leave it so that you can take bits away from the session and start implementing them. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that one. I always talk about how you pushed me to try Louise Butler's Pilates. I can't say I'm quite in lycra and doing it every Thursday, but I'm slowly doing it more weeks. So that's, again, it's an improvement.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all for. I mean, this is a tool that we give you champs to sort of use in the workplace. If you can promote this throughout the workplace with people who might not have started doing activity, they might be trying to engage in Vitality, but they're put off because they don't know where to start. So understanding your health as a starting point is always really good. But then pushing these sessions on onto all staff, things like the mindfulness sessions are a great way to try and get your week off to a good start and maybe a positive step towards improving your health. So use the sessions that are available to you. Like I say, it's in the handouts. Please download it if you haven't got it already. And you can just click the links to join these sessions when they're on. And then some of them will be available on YouTube as well. So it's all there for you to utilize and to try and find the sessions that is useful for the majority of your staff. So yeah, please use it. And all of that sort of comes into our shared value model at Vitality. We want to try and help people to get healthier. So as we started off, the whole idea of this session was to help you understand how you can help your colleagues improve their health with Vitality. And that's at the forefront. Like we said, our core purpose is to make people healthier and to enhance and protect their lives. that comes from that program trying to encourage you to improve those healthier behaviors, which benefits you, benefits your colleagues, and benefits your families as well. So if we can do that, then that's the first protocol for us. It does benefit us as the insurer. I'm sure you've heard this before. Our healthier members are less likely to make a claim, or if they do make a claim, they're less likely to need more surgery, more serious treatment, sorry. So it benefits us as the insurer, but that means we can put more back into those programs, into those partners, and bring you more rewards as well. But it benefits society as a whole. So you guys who are more healthier, you're more present in work, you're more effective in work, which is good for the economy, but also you're there to try and reduce the burden on things like public health services, which we know are obviously a massive stretch at the moment with everything going on, and even the best of times. So we can help people be healthier. That's why I started with Vitality, because I believe in what we're doing, and all of that is there to support you and your colleagues to do that. So if you could promote that and you can utilize that, then fantastic, you're doing a good job. So that's everything that we wanted to sort of discuss today, I think, Ryan. We wanted to make sure that you've got all those tools at your disposal. If you've got any questions, by all means, pop it into the question box. We've had a few comments. So Marta, that's great what you've done. So Marta said that you've created the distribution list for everyone who's on the health plan, and you've given some pointers and some benefits that they've got access to. So that's really, really good. So it's a way of exploring ways to communicate with all of your colleagues. So yeah, make sure you keep going with that. So if anyone does have any questions, be sure to pop it into the Q&A box. We will be doing one more session as well, won't we? So what are we focusing on, Ryan?
Yeah, so that one's going to be a bit around sort of changing the culture in the workplace. So again, trying to encourage that healthy behaviours whilst being at work. Obviously, with the healthy hybrid report, it is looking a bit more. Is there going to be remote working? Again, obviously, it's going to vary depending on organisations. But essentially, going forward, trying to make sure that all employees are looking after their health. And I think one of the take-home messages from this one is make sure you're including everyone. So I think step challenges are great, but there are going to be some people, as soon as they hear about a step challenge, they kind of accept defeat and they're not going to try. So something me and James have been sort of working on a lot more recently is doing challenges that makes it inclusive for everyone, and perhaps the winner isn't the most active, but it perhaps gets people who currently aren't active a bit more active. So the one I quite like is a bit of a competition around taking a picture on your walk. So obviously not just a picture of anything, it's got to be something interesting or a view or something like that, and it means that people will venture out, go on some exciting walks. And again, the people who don't go for walks or don't go for runs for fun might be a bit more engaged in those sorts of competitions. So yeah, trying to change that sort of workplace culture, trying to get people sort of making some healthy lifestyle changes, and making sure the workplace does support them with that.
Yeah, and that's it. It's almost like you can't measure the healthiness of your workforce on the healthiest member. It's also, so it's a collective. So trying to get people who might not necessarily be health conscious, trying to promote those things that they've got at their disposal to get back into sort of engaging with health initiatives. So hopefully, all those tools and all those comments that we've made will help you in your quest to try and help people get a little bit healthier. We know most of you, just a one person in the organisation trying to make this change. So we hopefully are helping you out along the way, giving you some pointers. The next session, like Ryan said, is going to be a little bit more around maybe speaking to the people who are making the decisions within the company, to try and affect change at a cultural level within the organisation. So tune in for that one. That one's going to be in September. So we are taking a brief break for a month, because believe it or not, we want a month off. No, not really taking a month off, I'm only joking. We're just going to have no session next month. So hopefully you found them useful. Previous two sessions have also gone out on emails. This one will be available as a recording, which will be going out on an email. Hopefully Carly will be sending that one out soon. But also we'll be sending you some other little bits of materials like we have on the previous two emails. So hopefully you found it useful. Thanks for your comments, thanks for your questions, thanks for joining us today. We bid you farewell. Enjoy the rest of the week and the weekend. Ryan, I'll probably speak to you tomorrow. If not, have a nice weekend yourself. But yeah, it's been enjoyable as always. So thanks very much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.